Today is episode 17 of the full Paycheck investing series. It's an exciting one today as I'll be investing my very last unemployment check of $1,152. As I mentioned in this weekend's video, yesterday was my first day of work at the new job. So yeah, no more unemployment checks after this. I'll also be paying a credit card bill and also making a payment to my HELOC straight from my brokerage with a margin loan against my growing assets. Step by step, you'll see practically and transparently how I live out of my Robinhood brokerage account and invest 100% of my income. I'm truly paying myself first in the very real sense of the word. As always, I'm doing this all uninterrupted in one take, and you'll get radical transparency on my channel. I share my real numbers, and you see exactly how much skin I have in the game with any given position. You can follow along my portfolio by checking the free Snowball portfolio link in the description below. And if you appreciate all the transparency, make sure to give a like and subscribe. As usual, this video is for entertainment and education purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing here should be taken as financial investment or tax advice. I'm simply sharing my personal investing journey and documenting my own results. So make sure to read this full disclaimer. And yeah, so normally I would go over my kind of monthly flow that I use on the channel to invest 100% of my income and how I live out of my brokerage. But given that I'll actually just kind of be stepping through all these steps live in this video, I'm not going to talk through it. Feel free to pause, to take a screenshot to just see what we're getting into, or check out some older videos where I dive into this. But yeah, let's just dive right in. So if we go to Robinhood, can see that today, so far, it's been a surprising green start to the week, despite peace talks breaking down in Iran this weekend. So yeah, my portfolio's sitting, I haven't seen it this high in a little bit, which is kind of nice to see. So 173.5K, up 1.2% on the day. So a lot of stuff that's green, not too much that's red, apart from MLPI, which you'd expect given that oil's coming down. SHD, like a lot of the growth stuff is kind of favoring it instead of that, and C not holding up as good as for the long shorts. But yeah, we'll still invest like the full paycheck here. So let's go and deposit it. So $1,152, which I'm pulling from my HELOC. Just as a reminder as well, the reason I'm pulling it out of my HELOC is because yet again, still no movement from Washington unemployment. Really, really unfortunate, honestly. So this is kind of my stopgap measure to kind of pay myself my unemployment because I haven't gotten paid at all by Washington. I have basically a 6-week backlog of unemployment checks that they still need to pay me. I think what week am I on now? I'm on week 6 out of 14 potentially, that before they review my case still. So at this point, I'm not going to get paid before I got started. I started my new job, which is crazy. And yeah, I just really feel bad for people that are kind of not in the same financial position as I am, where I can kind of stomach this. You can't really pause your rent or your mortgage for 14 weeks, right? If you lose your job suddenly like that. I'll get paid when I get paid at that point. And like I said, I'll take that money and then apply that to the HELOC and pay off the money that I took out, essentially. But yeah, we'll see if that's in several weeks from now, which is just crazy that I had to wait for this long to access money that I've paid into. So anyways, that's all transferred over, got instant deposit, great. So you can see my buying power went up, my net value went up because the margin came down, right? Because yeah, so my margin total went up, my margin use went down because I deposited money, and I have 42K in cash available for withdrawal. So let's just get that invested right away. I was just going to invest it into one thing today, honestly. So I was thinking this morning, I had some second thoughts, maybe I should do MLPI given that it's a little bit in the red this morning. So yeah, I'm kind of down 0.72%, not too much. I did put some cash back into it this morning, but one thing that's really in the red in the portfolio, if we look at like outside of like my ultra yielders like YMAX and Ulti, there is BTCI that's just had like a big dip, right? Just because Bitcoin has kind of lagged behind in the last few months and has like had a big downturn. And like, yeah, if we take a look at Bitcoin, really, where are the indexes here? Yeah, it's at 74.9K. So quite a bit lower. And generally I do like keeping like roughly a 5% exposure to crypto across all my portfolios. So I have some crypto in my passive income portfolio. I have some in my Roth. And yeah, so that all amounts to roughly 3.48%. And then even within the passive income portfolio right now, my allocation to crypto is 2.89%. So it's definitely gone down a lot with like having sold Misty the other month and reinvesting it into something outside of crypto, and then also just a downturn in crypto. So I think I'll just gonna put the $1,152 in BTCI and just kind of catch a little bit of that bottom. So if we kind of take a look at my position here in Snowball to kind of see all my different buys, right? So you can kind of see that I bought like kind of near the top here back in August when I switched from BITO to BTCI. And then I've just been buying as it's been dipping. Did some big buys here at this plateau, but then after it just kept dipping, right? And all these little buys have mostly just been little buys, literally like cash back buys. I haven't done any crazy buys when you look at the share amounts, right? But yeah, so this should be my bigger buy in a while. So I just want to buy in this bottom here and hopefully catch the bounce back up. Assuming it doesn't keep going down, it could. It might very well happen, but I like having a little bit of crypto exposure in the portfolio here. And so let's just do that. So today it's a nice green day on it, but overall you can see that I'm down 34.83%. So let's just buy into that and then also next week I am getting a payment on it too. So we'll kind of be upping that a little bit. And yeah, so let's just get that bought. Great. And then you see the buying power going down by that exact amount. And great. So that's all bought. That's the full paycheck invested. You'll notice that the net value hasn't gone down because money's staying in the portfolio and I'm reinvesting it. What has gone down is the buying power, right? So that goes down by the amount. And then also the cash available for withdrawal. Only half of that comes out, right? Because that's what they keep as collateral for the buy. So half of the $1,152. And then my margin used is back up and the margin total stays the same actually. But now we're going to kind of get these to go down a little bit just because we're going to pay some bills. So if we check what bills are due today, so we're the 15th today. So I have these two orange ones to pay. So I have a small Chase Amazon credit card bill, $50.36. Given the layoff last month, I went very light on Amazon purchases last month, so that's why this is low. And then just a little HELOC payment as well too. So it's kind of hitting my interest payment and then a little bit of the principal. So any extra that I have up to the 9K expenses, I just throw towards the HELOC to kind of pay that down. So a little bit extra this month, which is nice, and hoping to kind of have this a lot bigger in future months. And yeah, those are just the two small ones today to do. We'll also just add this $1,152 to the payments this week. And yeah, let's just get that paid. So Amazon, so $50.36. Let's just get that transferred over. So I'll just actually go to deposit funds, but actually just kind of treat it as a transfer. So I'm going to transfer this to my secondary brokerage account, which I'm calling the cash account. And then I'll basically just draw the money directly from there, from the credit card bill later after this video is done shooting. So 50.36, and let's just get that transferred over. Great. And then let's see, can I actually do, okay, yeah. And then let's just get this, and then $187.11, just let's send that to the HELOC. So if we go to individual and then send this to the HELOC account, so $187.11, get that transferred over, and yeah, get that transferred over. Oh, gotta verify. Great. So that's all transferred over. So now you'll see all the numbers adjusted, and let's get that updated on the sheet. So we'll just pay that as well. Great. So that's all paid this week. We kind of consider this week paid. And I'll need to update this since I'm going to be paid weekly after I get my first paycheck next week. But yeah, that's how it's looking. And then next week I'll have my Robinhood Gold Card payment that I'll have to do, but that's how it's looking for the rest of the month. Let's just get all the numbers on the sheet updated. So if we open up BTCI, get that updated, should be a nice average down from where I was. So 54 to 52, which is nice. And then do my number of shares here. So I'm over 10K here, which is nice. And yeah, kind of averaging down and getting that number down. And if we update the margin numbers as well, so margin total sitting at 248. So we added some there, and then margin used. So this ticked up a little bit because of the bills paid, right? That's how it's looking. So with all that, the portfolio is sitting at a record gross value of 341K, which is nice if you add up all the assets that are in the portfolio. I'm using 166.5K of margin. I have a net value of 174.5K. So a big run up in the last 2 weeks from all the green days we've had, which has been nice. So it's outpaced the margin. And then it's also kind of brought this to like a nice level that I haven't seen in a while, given all the red days recently. I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. I think there's still going to be volatility and craziness from the war and the conflict. So like, yeah, let's enjoy the green days for now, but just be cognizant that it might dip again. It's been a very volatile situation, right? And yeah, any rumor or news just kind of shoots things down sometimes. This week was wrong. I really thought it'd be red given everything this weekend, but I guess not. That's why you can't really predict what the market's going to do, right? So that's what the numbers are looking like. Actually, like if we look at this too, it's nice. I'm actually now in the green on the unrealized gain side. If you don't factor in like my realized gains, like the minus 12.73K there, I'm actually in the green now in unrealized gains, both on the total returns and on the unrealized side, which is cool to see. If this keeps up, maybe we can kind of even wipe out the realized plus unrealized gains red here and kind of get this in the green. So 6.86% to go there. But yeah, cool to see. Haven't seen this in a while since last year. So nice to be climbing out of the red there. As far as my margin health, after all that, let's take a look. So again, my gross portfolio value we mentioned, margin used, net portfolio value. If we take your gross portfolio value and then apply the blended margin maintenance of all my positions, so I only use 25% positions at this point, you get a margin maintenance value of 85.2K, right? And this is the number my portfolio would have to drop to basically hit a margin call. So if you do the difference between this and your net portfolio value, you get this margin buffer of 89.3K. And really, if you take that buffer value, right, because the portfolio needs to drop by that value. If you apply that and divide it by your gross portfolio value, you get this value here, the 26.18%. So the market would basically have to drop 26.18% for my portfolio to hit a margin call, or yeah, because my portfolio roughly matches the market here. If you go off Robinhood's portfolio margin buffer value, it's 51.15%. Like I've said in many videos, this number I don't like looking at as much just because it makes you feel safer than you actually are, right? You're like, oh, a 50% drop won't happen. But realistically, if you go off all your asset values, if it drops 26%, then that's the equivalent of a 51% drop on your net portfolio value, right? So that factors in the margin amplification. So I think this one's really important to keep in mind. And yeah, as far as my buying power after all that, if you take your margin total and minus out your margin used, I'm sitting at 82.3K. I have 41.1K of cash available for withdrawal now. So yeah, this is cold hard cash I can kind of pull out of the brokerage if I wanted to in case of emergency or for anything else. So yeah, I want to keep this high. That's why I'm kind of keeping this high as well, not fully using all my margin. I just want to keep a nice buffer there, as I said. And with that, my equity is at 51.18%. Again, haven't seen this in a while. This was draining a lot over the last couple months because of the layoff and not having as much income coming in, and then also the market being down. So yeah, this upswing has really pushed this back up to over 50%, which is nice. And yeah, this will be even better next week when I get my first paycheck and then also my signing bonus and things like that. So yeah, kind of nice to just see that over 50% again. And with that, my growth assets are sitting at 172.2K or 51%, and my high yield income assets are sitting at 165.8K or 48%. That makes up the 341K here. So we can kind of see here what my monthly income has gone up to. So $4,687 roughly per month. We can calculate how much I roughly got today from that investment, right? I actually need to probably update the averages on the dividend here. So we'll actually just go off, let's look at what the last payment for thing was, because it's been lower the last few months here. I can kind of see there's a big drop along with the crypto drop, right? If we look at the months there. So let's just go off the last payment, let's say. So 0.7804 times 12 divided by its current price of 35.64. So that's 26.27. So 26.27 times 1,152 that we invested today. So that's $302.63. Divide that by 12. And we added $25 essentially of monthly income today through that investment, which is cool. So yeah, little buy today, given the small amount of the unemployment check, but still cranking along and getting that monthly income up, right? And then probably for the next portfolio update, I'll probably update the trailing 3-month averages on these, because yeah, the stuff has gone down a lot with the downturn. So need to reflect that, and probably this number will come down a bit. So that's the full paycheck invested. That's a bill paid out of the portfolio. So really practically, you can kind of really see how I'm investing 100% of my income and living out of my portfolio. Everything flows through my portfolio, and every penny that I make, literally every penny that I make gets invested. And that's why this gross value has been growing so much, right? I started at 205K gross value last year, and then now I'm at that 343K mark. So huge increase in that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing a retrospective on this at the end of next month. We're almost hitting the 1-year mark that I've been running this strategy. And honestly, I've been really liking it. And yeah, it's helped cushion layoffs. It's helped a bunch of stuff. So very happy with this strategy. And yeah, and my tax burden ended up being negligible this year too. Ended up getting a refund despite all the income. So it's been working really great for my personal situation. But yeah, that's the video. If you want to support the channel, there's a bunch of different ways to do it as usual. You can do that on Blossom Social. You can follow me along there. All my posts, all my trades, you'll see those. You can see my MLPI buy this morning from the little cash back. For Snowball, you can see my full portfolio here. Nothing hidden, all my real numbers and percentages. You can kind of see that stuff is quickly flipping green here, and more green than red than we like we had the other week. And you see all the same numbers that I show on video. You can poke at those yourself and kind of see how things break down. If you want to support the channel extra, I have a little membership on YouTube, just $3 a month. You get little perks like loyalty badges, priority reply to comments, access to private supporter only channel on Discord in the public free Discord. And yeah, just general satisfaction of keeping the channel running if you really appreciate what I'm doing here. And yeah, I don't want to do any paywalled content, things like that. I'm not about that. So that's why I kind of keep the perks pretty light here and almost kind of consider it like a little tip jar. You can do the same on Patreon. This is free, but also there is a membership thing. All the videos are free to access as if you're on YouTube. Just my full backlog is there, just in case there's any more shenanigans on YouTube. And then, of course, there's the Discord as usual. Yeah, love talking to people in between videos. Yesterday, for example, I noticed that some people on Reddit were getting the RH Gold card again through Credit Karma, so something to look into for people interested. I post all my trade alerts in here. You can see all my little buys I've been doing. A lot of cashback buys the last couple weeks. But yeah, it's a nice growing Discord, 350 members. And yeah, just love that there's a bunch of different people living out of their brokerage in different ways. And we're all kind of learning from each other and bouncing ideas off each other. Like, yeah, Red Dad, for example, today was just asking for some quick feedback for his portfolio. So love our little community, and all for free. Again, like all the links that I've mentioned, they're all in the description below. You can access them for free. If you appreciate this transparency and you want to keep supporting the channel, please give a like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification for future videos. And I'll catch you in the next video, probably this weekend for the usual portfolio update. So probably see you on Saturday. Peace.